these two wonderful, beautiful, fantastic ladies who are going to be disposed to sing for you some of this kind of nice old-fashioned pieces of music while I have to clear my throat. Their music and singing was to be honest straight away the idea of my editor, who felt it would help underline the dramatic impact of this reading. I should also say it was the idea of my editor for me to perform this piece in English language, which he considered to be the international language of love and peace. These wonderful ladies will come back soon, and as our story goes, they're going to represent several of the women of my life. And yes, they're going to represent several. Oh, that's what I forgot. I didn't welcome any of you gentlemen, a number of whom I had the pleasure of meeting last night at the culturally iconic establishment called House 5. And it's very nice to see you all again. The proprietor asked me to relay to you his gratitude for your continued patronage, and also to say he is just so grateful as well for your excessively generous gratuity. Now, perhaps we can content ourselves with an instrumental tune while I look over my introduction. Excuse me for this interruption, but we have yet to define the structure of this event, and I know you're all expecting a performance, but after all, this is merely a reading, and even so, we barely had any time to rehearsing together, and I mean, normally I don't like this kind of music. You do? No, for me, it just gets me nervous. This is no comment on the quality of the orchestra or the conductor, but I'm not psychological strong enough to withstand this kind of music. Not to worry, it's a question for concentration or distraction, and I will soon be back on my saddle. For the meanwhile, I would like to remind my dear public several things about my story, because flipping through the pages of my book before the reading, I suddenly realized that 30 years has passed since some of these details of my story happened, and 30 years is also double the amount of time, 15 years, that I spent in prison after having been convicted in 1976 of the crime of murder. So I can give my dear public, all my insurances that I have a pretty good idea of how long is 15 years. It's pretty endless. So, my life, how to start. The first thing I learned was a smile, and that smile was already a lie, so it would be fair to say that the first thing I learned was to lie, or at least be economical with the truth. I had my first lesson taught to me by the one I have no other choices but to refer to as my mother, but she was never a mother to me. Let me tell you about my mother and about how many people, but especially women, are disposed to blame everything that might go wrong in their lives to their mother, without first calculating that their mother also had mother to blame. Now, my mother was a very young mother, didn't have more than a few days with my father, and no reason to expect any kind of family life whatsoever. When she gave birth to me, she was more or less a child herself. She never at all felt responsible for me. She simply ran away as soon as possible. Probably didn't have any second thought. She left me with her father, who lived in the countryside in a beautiful environment right in the middle of a wonderful forest. Now, I have always imagined my young and beautiful mother running out of my